Very excited to chat with our next guest. Great to have him back on the program after what was an unbelievable day for him in Navy's win over Air Force, where he became the first player in Navy history to ever record 200 receiving yards in one game. And somehow I don't even feel like that describes how great of a day it was for Eli Heidenreich. 8 catches, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he is with us this morning here on GCR. Eli, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you again, man. Thank you for taking the time for us, and congratulations.
All right, thank you for having me.
Hey, man, did you guys know, like knowing what you knew about Air Force defense, and we know that you guys have been throwing the ball more in general, but going into the game, did you know it was going to be this type of day, or is that just what came along as the game got started?
So yeah, watching film kind of leading up to the week, to the game, I should say. We knew that their defense they'd struggled a little bit this year. They played Boise State, Hawaii, kind of I think Utah State as well, and they've been giving up some points, especially in the passing game. They've had some struggles there, but I did not really at all anticipate the having 200 plus receiving yards. It's not really something that I was thinking about going into the game. Um, but it was kind of funny to see how the game and our game plan evolved throughout that day. So we started off kind of trying to do a lot of our basic kind of triple option things. And if you watch the game, they were bringing a lot of pressure
Yep.
and really loading up the box, making it tough for us to get a lot of our runs off. So that really opened up the pass game. And our offensive coordinator really just took full advantage of that.
How much have you? Because obviously you had it over 100 yards a year ago against Air Force as well. How much have you kind of enjoyed when you've seen teams try to do that ever since Blake's been the quarterback? Like, have you kind of snickered like, oh, you guys don't realize, like, you don't know this dude can throw the ball too.
Yeah, yeah, he balled out in that game. He was facing, a ton of blitzers kind of right in his face, and he had a ton of poise in the pocket, just dropping, almost perfect passes to me in a lot of situations, well-timed balls. But it is funny. I think people still kind of are unassuming with him and his passing capabilities, but he proves them wrong kind of each and every week. It is funny to see.
Eli, I was listening to Coach Newberry the other day in his press conference, and one of the things he was talking about is how you guys, it's maybe the sign of a great team that if this is what's required, is you adapt or you do things on the fly, you're capable of doing that. Where does that come from for this group, that you're not going to panic if things aren't necessarily going the way that you wanted them to go? That you're going to be all right. You're going to be able to handle it and figure out what you need to do in the course of that game.
I think it really starts with our senior leadership, and kind of at the forefront of that is Blake for sure. He is a guy that, through adversity, we've had some kind of tougher starts to a few of our games this year. I think Air Force didn't exactly go the way we would have hoped in the first quarter, and then I think you could say the same thing about Tulsa, where we
Yeah.
turned the ball over, a little early. And Blake will be the first person to tell you that he was kind of the guy that maybe made a mistake here or there to start off those games that maybe got us behind a little bit where we would have liked. And he's just super composed and never someone that lets these little things kind of you get to him. And he's a guy that really leads by example and sets the tone for our offense. And it's really easy to kind of just get behind him and follow. So I think that's the big thing is our leadership as a whole as a senior class, and then him kind of being that guy up front.
Eli Heidenreich is with us after his massive day. What does it feel like to be in it? Like, most of us as humans will never be in a zone like that. We're never going to have a day where it's just going, what does it feel like when you're having a moment like that where, like, it seems like you can't do anything wrong, and like, can you just describe what that feeling is like?
Yeah, that's something that I try to focus on a lot is getting in that headspace where you're able to kind of make those plays. And the biggest thing about it is it's almost kind of like effortless, and you're not really thinking a lot about it. I think
Hmm.
that's when a lot of people play their best football, and I think that definitely applies to me, and I feel that way. Is you're not really thinking about a whole lot. You're kind of just going out, and it's almost like it kind of just happens. Like I don't really even remember a lot of like during the play, like what I was actually thinking. It's just kind of like you let your body take over, and all the hours that you've put in work in to get up to that moment, it kind of just takes over. And I think that's when you play your best football.
All right. So for folks that didn't see it, probably the most special moment of the day, and CBS captured it. You get over and you jump into the crowd, and what I think a lot of us didn't know in the moment, but we found out later, was you were jumping into the arms of your dad. And like now, after I found that out, I got to be honest with you, Eli, I'm a father. I've got two young sons, and it broke me. Like I got really emotional about it, and we'll let everybody see it that hasn't seen it yet. But can you walk me through this? Like you knew he was there. Had you premeditated this? How did it come about, and why was it something that you wanted to do?
Yeah, so earlier in the game, we were coming out from that end zone, going the opposite way of that wall you can see there, and I could hear my dad and some of his buddies. They were, yelling my name, kind of just talking, and then it was funny. They were kind of chirping the other team just a little bit, all professional things, but I knew they were in that general
Wait, it's a
vicinity.
rivalry game. They're allowed to do that. Like, it's come on,
Yeah,
man. It's a rivalry.
exactly. Yeah, but they were in that kind of general area. I'd heard them earlier, so I knew kind of where they were, but not exactly. I hadn't actually seen them, and fast forward, we're coming back down the field, going into that end zone, and obviously I catch that pass and run right in the end zone, and I'm heading right towards them. So as I'm running up, I kind of see like a few of them, and I knew kind of what they were wearing. So I jumped right up, and he was right there. I was like, oh my gosh, like it was a really special moment. He was
Wow.
smacking me on my helmet, and it was just it was really cool.
Wait, so
Something I'll
you
remember
you
for the rest of
didn't
my life.
know that you were jumping directly to him. You just knew he was kind of in the area.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow, dude. How cool is that?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah. It was
so
really
cool.
special.
You and I have talked before about your relationship with Alex and coming together, but like, tell me about that. Like, I think a lot of people are familiar with the sacrifices that military parents make, and obviously, it's not quite the same as the sacrifices that you make. But what has it meant? Like that support, him, his buddies that are all there for you. And can you tell me a little bit more about your relationship with him and how important he's been for you in getting to this point?
Absolutely. So him and I, we first met each other. I think it was first grade, and it was through football. And at the time, the way it worked back in Mount Lebanon, that's where we both grew up, was we kind of ended up just playing against each other to start off for the first few years. And Mount Lebanon, like youth football, you'd kind of just play each other. And since we were two of the better kids in the league, we would never end up being on the same team. So our relationship kind of started playing against each other, and I always knew when I'd be playing his team because I always knew that was the guy I'd have to watch out for and maybe go tackle. So that's how it started initially, and then obviously as time went on, we get into high school. That's when our relationship really started to take off. I'd say freshman year, and we uh, we started playing football together and spending a lot of time with each other. And it was funny. I never would have thought that we'd both end up, playing football together, especially at the Naval Academy. It's just it was really
Right.
crazy how it all worked out in high school. And then moving forward to where we are now, it really is. It's awesome having them with me, and especially at the start of my career here at the academy, it's not an easy adjustment. And you're switching over from being a civilian to being in the military, but just having them kind of by my side and someone that I can lean on and someone that's there for me all the time. It was really nice having them there with me.
It's so cool, man. And then tell me a little bit more about your dad, right? And tell me about that. What he's meant to you, and your family, and how they've supported you, and getting to have a moment like that on Saturday.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, both my mom and my dad have played a huge role in my life. I'm very grateful to that they've been with me the whole way, and my dad especially, I'd say, has had a big impact on me my football career and where I'm at. And he's someone that recognized that I had some talent when I was younger, and someone that would always push me in the correct way. And I think he really has a big reason as to where I am today. I growing up, I think it was around freshman year. I was a little bit smaller than everyone. I grew a little bit late in high school, but he knew that I still had some talent in me, and he told me this quote that stuck with me, and it's something that I still have written down, and it's my lock screen on my phone, and it's don't let potential be written on your tombstone. It's just something that has always pushed me, and it's my kind of little motivating piece that I'll look back to when I'm maybe feeling a bit uninspired. But he's definitely had a huge role in who I am as a football player, and then just as a man.
That's so cool, man. I don't let potential be written on your tombstone. That's what the quote was, right?
Yes, sir.
That is great. I love that, man. That's awesome. Eli, I know you guys are moving on. You got another game to play, but I just wanted to get one more in because I got the sense in hearing from you guys on Saturday that you guys had never won an academy game at home, right? Like it's just the way that it had worked out because you only get to play Air Force, and the last time 2 years ago it just didn't go your way. What that meant to you all, that scene. I know there were a lot of military leaders there on Saturday. Can you put into words? You've experienced so many things, and I know beating Army a year ago probably is still at the top of that list, but what it meant to do that at home with everybody there, that atmosphere on Saturday.
Yeah, that game was electric. I think that's a good way to sum it up. I think we had 37,000 people is the number, something around there. It was pretty much a sold out crowd, and obviously there were a lot of generals, and the Secretary of War was there, some high ranking officials that just kind of all added to like the pageantry and made that game even more special. But I think the coolest thing about it all is being able to get a win for all the midshipmen, all the people that are forced to be at the game. I think a lot of them like going, but it's funny that I think that the game almost means as much to them as it does to us. Kind of
Wow.
how much goes into it for them, and they really care, and it's really a special thing to be able to go out and kind of win one and deliver that to them.
I had never thought about it that way, but I think you're very much right. For a lot of people, like you're making a lot of sacrifices. There's times where it's not a lot of fun to be doing what you're doing, but you get that moment to go out and celebrate with everybody on a Saturday and enjoy it, and I think that's a really cool way of looking at it. Eli, obviously, you guys are on the road this Saturday at Temple, a much improved Temple team. I know you guys have talked about, hey, we know we need to get better, right? Like it's good to be 5-0. And if you're going to get better, it's great to do it when you are 5-0. But how do you keep that focus and make sure that you're even better moving forward to keep those goals of winning the league and maybe having a shot at the playoff?
Yeah, our head coach, Coach Newberry, he has a great quote, something that he talks about with us a lot, and it's just going 1-0. And that's a special win that we just took part in last week, and it's hard to flush it, but you have to. Maybe celebrate a little bit on Saturday and Sunday, but once Monday rolls around, you have a completely new week with new challenges that this Temple team will present to us, and it's just important to not get too high with those wins, and then if something happens later down the line, not getting too low. It's just kind of maintaining that kind of steady state that's really important for us as a program. So definitely excited for another opportunity this week to go out and show the country what Navy football is capable of.
It's been awesome, man, and seriously, what a day that was on Saturday, and how much joy it gave so many people. Reminder that you can follow Eli on Twitter. It's at Heidenreich44, correct?
Yes, sir.
And are you on Instagram as well, Eli?
I am. It's the same thing.
At Heidenreich44. Give him a follow there, too. Eli, may there be, if necessary, may there be many more. Maybe there's a 300-yard receiving day in the future.
That'd be awesome.
Whatever it takes in order to win games, man. What a cool thing that was. congratulations on an awesome performance. Great start, and may it continue all season long. Always appreciate you taking the time for us. Thanks for hopping on this morning, man.
Thanks for having me.
That's Eli Heidenreich, Navy snipe, and yeah, what a freaking day, man.